I'm
a big student for a while.
All right. A lot of the stuff's going to stay in this book.
Okay.
The main one that I would have on the clipboard is this one called compliance. Okay. So I would actually have that one on the clipboard, and I would have it say, come here, go play, and sit nice. Those are the 3 compliance ones that we're going to be using. That way, every time they call him over, this is already on the clipboard. They either have to circle whether it was the 2 incorrects in the prompt or he came on the first try. Okay, so then at the end of the session, after you've gone through the programs or whatever, you could tally up and then know for that session he was coming to the chair on his own 80% of the time. Whatever, does that make sense?
So this one would be correct.
Right,
This
so
one would be
incorrect,
and
this is a prompt, and you just circle.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. So this one will actually be on the clipboard. So where's the clipboard? Can we get that out?
Where's your clipboard?
Somewhere.
I don't think there was a clipboard on the.
No, there wasn't.
We don't have one. I've got one, but I don't have a calculator. I got a
Do you
card.
have one handy?
Yeah.
Okay, can you get that for me?
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It wasn't on those.
No, so I didn't get it out and ready. We've got lots from school.
Take it back. Well, maybe it is. It's down in the garage.
I'm sure.
Well, he was on. He screw up everywhere, so. But he don't mind being dirty, and Tyler does not like being dirty. Or he doesn't mind. He wipes it all over.
He wipes it on the wall.
I tried to give him a napkin. He doesn't want to use a napkin.
I guess I got that one on the little street right there. That was strawberry jelly.
I was thinking you would bring those one, but Frank said you wanted to keep it neutral in here, but all my Mickey Mouse.
Oh, I can keep it. I can do stuff, but I just hadn't decided what I wanted to do yet, so that's why
Oh,
I
I
haven't
have all
done
those.
anything.
You could have the Mickey Mouse one. I guess the Cinderella, you don't really want that because you just have girls and boys.
What are you talking?
Like figures to put on the wall? Is that what you're talking about?
My pictures, like that pictures that's up in the upstairs bathroom. I was just gonna.
That'd be good.
We were gonna redo Shelby's bathroom.
Oh.
I mean those.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so what you'll want on here is this compliance one. You'll probably,
This is something I want to know too.
yes, you'll probably want the sign-in sheet on there. Okay. And you'll probably want the program checklist on there. These are your main things. Okay? So when you come to do a session, the first thing you're going to want to do is sign in. So when you sign in, you just put your name or your initials. So JP, the day, which today is Monday, the date, which is the 9th, the hours scheduled. So probably going to be a 3-hour session. Let's just say for all intents and purposes, it's going to be 2 to 4.
Shelby.
Okay? That's your hours that was scheduled to work, say, and those are the hours that you're here to do. So that's 2 to 4, and that equals 2 hours. Does that make sense? Now this is a cumulative for Tyler. So the next person that comes, what's your initials?
AC.
Okay, so say you're AC, and it's Monday, and it's the 9th, 2006. Say you're here to work 4 to 6, or you're scheduled. You work 4 to 6, and here you're going to put 4. So that's a cumulative. You see? You see how that works? So then at the end of the week, after 7 days, you should have your 15 hours here, and then you're going to want to circle that at the end of the week so that you know how many hours you're getting per week. Does that make sense? And then what you can do is, when you send me the update, you can add those up and then divide them into 4, and then I'll know how many hours he's averaging.
Yeah.
Okay? So does that make sense on how to sign in?
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing you want to do is you're going to look at the program checklist. Okay? You can do these programs in any order.
I was going to ask you that.
You do not have to do them in this order. A lot of times, if he's only having 1 session per day, what you might want to do the next day is see, oh, these programs didn't get hit, so you should probably do those first.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So that all the programs are getting hit as many times as possible. What you're going to want to do is up here, you put the date and initials. So today is the 9th, and the initials is JP. Now, this section right here now is all for me today. Okay, all of these. So what you're going to do is, you're going to want to do block imitation. Okay, so what you do is, you go to block imitation, right here, block imitation, tells you what the SD is. So it's do this plus instructor models block position. Tyler imitates position. Then you come here, you go and see what's being worked on. Oh, base plus 1 on top is mastered. We're working on base plus 2. Then what you're going to want to do is you want to go see what the last person did. And remember, today we were able to do on top and next to. Okay? But we're going to do a sitting of that so you get comfortable with taking the data on that. And we're going to do that through role play. Okay? So this is block in. Now, this is another thing. In here is a section called compliance, which looks like it's coming out here. Make sure it's in there. Good. Okay. So, under compliance, you have 3 SDs, 3 formats. Come here, go play, and sit nice. But you're not going to, and then that's going to be on the current items. It doesn't really matter because those are your current items, so it doesn't really matter there. But notice that there's no data sheet in here. That data sheet is going to be on your clipboard because every time you call him over, okay, it's going to say, come here, go play, and sit nice. And you want to log how well he does at that per session. So if you call him over, he doesn't come. You call him over again, he doesn't come. 2 no's, you're going to prompt. Right? So then that's how that's going to look. Then you send him to go play. He's got that down, so he got that correct after you've done block imitation. Okay, so you let him go play. And then if you had to use sit nice in any of those times, and you know, sit nice, you're just going to do a monotone. Sit nice, and you can teach that receptive instructions as well as a receptive instruction. Okay, so that's that. Now say you send him to go do a puzzle, and you're ready to do your next program. You call him over, comes over the first time. Okay, so this is going to be throughout your session how many times you call him over to the chair. So if you get through 10 programs, that means you were able to call him over 10 times. Say that he came over consistently the rest of this time. You didn't have to come get him. And what you do is there's a total of 10 here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10 times he came over on his own. That's 70%. You prompted 1 out of 10 times. 1% was prompted. Does that make sense? You don't have to worry about next with come here because that's all you're working on. And this, but we'll be able to find is what percentage of the time he's coming over to the chair when we request him. Okay? So we call him over. That was that.
Wait a minute. How many? He just didn't come over. Oh wait.
It says right here.
There's 11.
10.
Well, the 1% prompted.
Which is 1p out of the total, which is 10.
Oh, okay.
That's
You
just
did it, I'm
1%.
sorry.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I
Okay.
just had. I
Yeah.
wasn't looking at the math.
Did that make sense? So if it's 7 out of 10 he came over, that's 70%. 1 out of 10 he needed prompting, that's 1%. That make sense? What percentage of the time was he incorrect? Oh, I'm sorry. This is not 1%.
It's 10%. That's why I'm like,
Oh,
wait a minute.
I'm sorry. It is 10%. You're right. So what percentage of the time was he prompted? 20%.
20%.
Right. Absolutely. And the way it should be is if you add up corrects and prompts, because we keep them 80% successful, what should corrects and prompts at least equal?
Correct.
80% at least, because if he's getting it wrong, we're going to prompt. So if he's getting it wrong 20% of the time, then that means we need to be prompting. Okay? All right. So that's what you do there. So that's the come here, the compliance. So we want to do block imitation. So we're going to go to block imitation. Okay, here's blocks. We looked at what the SD was. We saw what the last person did. Okay, so now we need to get out our stimuli. Who's going to be the first teacher? You will? All right, get out your stimuli.
For the block. No, the other ones.
Well, yes, for now it was these ones. There you go.
I could probably stick those in a plastic thing.
Excellent. What I'd like to do is, because I want for now each block that we introduce after all the prepositions to be maximally different. So like the next 2 blocks would be fine if they were these 2 because they're maximally different than those. And then if there is a, let's see what else we got here. So maybe those could be your next blocks to be introduced. But we're not there yet, because remember on the current item list, what's
You can do block plus 2, plus 1,
right? Base plus 1.
base plus 1.
Right. Okay. So we ready to do this? I'm gonna be the teacher here.
Student.
Yeah, student. Sorry. Student. Okay. So
That's the
hold
little
on
chair.
here. Let's get you out another one of these. So I wrote on it. So probably gonna have to do the date and your name, and then write compliance here, and then our come here, go play, and sit nice. Since I already wrote on that other one. So what you want to do is when you show up, come upstairs, get everything ready, take about 10 minutes, get this clipboard ready, and then bring him upstairs. And then start your work. Just so that he's not kind of running around up here while you're trying to do all that stuff too. So.
Now, when sometimes he comes to my house for like an hour or so, can I just sit, play with him there, do some of this stuff at my house?
Sure.
Or does it have to be a structured?
Just know that it's going to be more challenging to do it in a non-structured environment. But as long as you're
So-
consistent and you know what's being worked on at home, then you'll
And
be
the
able
thing
to
is,
carry
you're not
that
gonna
stuff
have
over.
all of this.
All right, then we'll just play.
Okay.
What you could do is get all these play activities that we've introduced, like potato head and
The string.
puzzles, stringing beads, and engagement, those types of activities. I think those are great. Okay, so you got that?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so I'm the student.
Come here.
Man, that,
Good.
Awesome.
Nice walking.
Okay. So we have that. Okay. All right, I think we're gonna do it like this. Like,
Do this. Yay! And then do the one next to it, right? Alright, do this. No. Do this. Yay. And then on top of it, do this. And then you do go play.
okay. And I went and played on my own, so you circle that. Now, since you finished block imitation, this is where it gets tricky. So, date, initials.
So she's already got her compliance down. She's
Yep.
already written that down.
Yep.
And she's going. So while he's doing his little structured activity.
Right. Exactly.
Well, mind the camera view. I'm
So
sorry.
base plus 1. And what was the first one that you did?
Big butt shot.
Make sure you save enough room for the position.
Oh, okay.
You can put OT if
You
you
and I'll
want.
have to learn
You
how
can
to
put
write
OT.
small.
you gotta look up your name on the
You can
phone.
put OT for on.
That's the first time I've ever seen her turn that off
Excellent.
like that.
Okay. And you did that once, right?
Yeah.
How'd I do? Good. So correct. Awesome. Then what did you do?
Base plus.
You could just put next to. It's fine. We know that we're only working with base plus 1 right now because we're doing prepositions.
And then you had kind of a hard time.
So right. So
Correct.
absolutely good. And then you did it again. And check it out. If you repeat the same one, you don't have to write it again because we'll just assume that obviously you did next to again. Does that make sense? Good. And then what?
And then base plus.
And you can just write on top. Like, how did I do? Awesome. So this is where the calculator is going to come in handy. So how many times I get how many are total? How many total trials did you do? Good. 3 out of 4, which is
You stinky shoe.
75%. Right? 75%. Absolutely. Oh, no, you didn't have a prompt. You didn't have a prompt, so 0% on prompt. Okay? Is that good? Now what you're going to do is take this correct percentage right here, and you're going to go to block imitation. You put your date and initial right there, and under block imitation you're going to write 75%. So now this is going to be your row. Awesome. Now what mom's going to do at the end of the week is total up these and come up with an average right here. And at the end of the month, she'll take 4 of these, because there'll be 4 weeks worth of data, and average those percentages. It's not the most accurate percentage because you're averaging percentages, but it's good enough. Okay?
Do some regression analysis.
Yes,
and-
exactly. And there's no significant difference, really. It's a regression. So everybody get how that works?
So if we're doing this during the downtime when he's playing with puzzles.
Absolutely. You'd hurry up and average that out and then mark it on that, and then by then you call them over. Okay? So that was that. So what's next on our program checklist? Okay, so I'll let you do that one. So that was good.
Just
You gotta figure
that.
standard deviation out too.
No, I don't know how to do that. I am not.
Computer will do all that for
I
us.
am not the finance major. He's over
That'll
there.
be him. He'll do that.
Why you have
right?
a
I'm honest.
I don't
statistics
even-
nerd. I love it.
Body parts.
And we're just going to go in order. Usually you don't have to go in order, but we're just going to go in order to get the formality down.
Okay, so is anybody gonna sit down or?
Yeah, it's going to be me, but what do you do after you see that? You got to do body parts. You got to go over to the book. Turn to body parts. See what your SD is.
Oh, it's more.
Yeah, it's going to be right there.
Right. It's touch.
Good,
Okay. so-
good. And then you want to turn to see what's been introduced. Oh, nothing. All right, so we know today that nose.
ears,
What? Yeah.
shoulders.
Not clap, because that's receptive
Yeah.
instruction, right? And then 2006. My writing is horrible. And ears. 2006. And we introduced shoulders today, right? But it wasn't mastered, so we just put the introduction date. So we basically know that we're working on shoulders and we're going to try to expand it by nose and ears. So we're going to want the next person to know that we're trying to expand so that that next person can try to expand by 2 if you expand it by 1, remember? Okay. So now you know what you're working on. What are you going to do now?
So.
You might even, when before he comes over, have this ready. This is already, but it should say body parts. All right. You might want to put your date and initial right here. And what's your target item just by looking at this?
Oh, it's shoulder.
Good. So that's what you put in target right there. Awesome. So now you're in.
Okay. Come here. No. Come here. No. Come here. Very good.
Okay. So you have your compliance here if you want to.
Go ahead and do that, or should
Yes.
I wait till the end?
Well, just it doesn't matter. If you can remember, that's fine. So it'd be IIP.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I was kind of confused. I wasn't sure if we actually.
You can fill it in right there. It just depends on what you want to do. If you can remember afterwards, it's fine too.
Is it forgetting what we were doing? Okay. Okay. Touch your shoulder. Why am I losing that? Touch shoulders. Very good. Touch nose. Very good. Touch ears. Good. Touch shoulders. Okay. So then go play.
All right. Awesome. So now I'll probably do this because this will probably be the hardest one to remember since it was a while ago. So you can still keep it here because right, and that's okay that you didn't get to that one. That's fine. So I got it wrong, P. So it's going to be IIP.
Oh, on the 2. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
That make sense?
Yes.
So at the end of the session, you're going to be able to calculate a percentage on how many times it came over per ask. So this goes throughout the session. That's why it's on the clipboard. That's why it's different than the other ones that are within programs. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because this is going to be considered a session
Okay.
versus all these other ones are going to be considered a sitting.
Just a sitting.
Yep. Okay, so now you're going to do block imitation. Sorry, body parts right here. So the first one that you did was,
Shoulders.
you'd write that.
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
Can I just put S?
Nope.
Or so I should write
Yes.
S.
It's a good change.
And then we did nose.
Yep.
Got that correct. Ears. And you got that correct. And then shoulders.
Good. Put your percentage down there.
Here.
Yep. And you're able to expand by 2, but there's only 3 things here. So what do you think you should tell the next person to do? But you can't really expand by 3 because there's not 3.
You have to introduce.
Good. So
Introduce it.
introduce new. So that's what you put next. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now you have to put your percentage where?
Here.
Yep.
He's gonna throw up all over you.
And you can just pretend like you and her are the same.
Aim that way.
I'm gonna hold him right over there.
That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's next on our list?
It's colors. Receptive.
All right. Who wants to do colors respectively? All right. So get your stimuli. I think it's actually here.
It sure is.
And you felt that you knew most of his primaries. I'm not going to write them as intro, but I am going to put them on the current item list. Okay.
Do you need
So we
two
got-
of everything, right?
Yellow. No, because this is receptive.
Oh.
So
Yellow,
what color? Just
blue,
hand them to.
green. Red, purple,
Are you missing colors? Would you stop?
gray. No. Well, oh, orange, huh?
I don't know that.
I'm not going to put him as intro or anything. Okay? So, but let's just assume.
White.
Oh, what?
I don't know if he knows all of these, but maybe that's just the target.
Right. This is what we're going to introduce. So you're going to want to probe. If he's got them, go ahead and mark him as probed and mastered, and then whatever he doesn't know, that will be where you start introducing.
Is there some that's supposed to be done?
Okay. So why don't you act like I don't know any colors, and you want to introduce yellow to me today? Okay.
Come here. Good job! Way to go! Woohoo! So, this is going to be a separate one?
Yep. No, we're going to keep this because this is going to be a trial, so we're going to act like this is all one session.
Okay, okay. Alright. So it's receptive, so it's just touch. Oh, we have to find that's what we look for.
It's actually
Colors receptive.
correct. So it's right there. So this is the actual one that we're
Touch
going to
color.
use.
Give me.
Yeah, that's one that you like.
Give me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want one. Give me yellow. Good job. Give me yellow. Good job. Now how many times do you actually...
2 or 3.
Okay. Give me yellow. Good job. And then so we want to now add
The neutral.
a neutral.
Yes.
Give me yellow. Good job. Give me yellow. Good job.
Okay, so that's probably pretty
Go
good.
play.
Yes. Okay, so I was able to get it in the field with the neutral.
Okay.
So now what we're gonna do? Oh, and say go play. We'll go play it over here. Yep. All right.
Okay.
And you can keep it. It does. You don't have to skip all these lines just because come here did.
Okay.
So you can just put it
okay.
there.
So it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So now we're gonna go to colors, and you introduced yellow.
Okay.
So put the date there. Is it mastered yet?
No.
No. Okay. So appears colors receptive. Okay. So date and instructor. Okay. What was your target?
Yellow.
So you introduced yellow.
So I want to write intro yellow.
Yes.
Intro yellow. Okay.
Good. So now you want to put yellow. And you did that 3 times, so you could C, C, C. Then you did yellow with ND. Good. And how many times did you get that right?
Twice.
Okay. So C, C. Awesome.
So
Oh,
that's a trial of.
Right. So that's all mass trialing. Okay.
Okay.
So with the mass trial, he was 100% with the mass trial.
Okay.
So you put 100% there. Okay. And 0 on the prompted. And what should the next person do?
Add one that he knows, but I guess he doesn't.
Doesn't know any other colors, right? So the
So-
next person would want to introduce new,
Okay.
right?
So intro. And intro is fine.
Right? Right?
As a-
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Okay. So let's do another intro.
Okay.
Okay.
Come here.
This time, after you intro, I want you to then try to get block trials of the yellow and the other color.
Okay.
Okay?
Give me blue. Good job. Give me blue. Good job. Give me blue. Good job. So block trials. These terms. Is it
Good.
together?
Good. Well, let's keep this one back.
Okay. Give me blue. Good job. Next, give him that one.
Now, we're going to squeeze this one in so that he can do blue in the presence of yellow. So
Okay.
we're going to slowly bring that one in closer.
All right. Slowly, like, put it here and then put it here
Yes,
and then
yes,
put it here.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes,
Give me blue. Good job. Give me blue. Good job. Give me blue. Good job.
Now mix them around.
Now we can do that.
Mhm.
Give me blue. Good job.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's the problem I'm going to have is remembering how many times I did.
Right. And it's going to be tricky for a little while.
Okay.
Okay?
So I don't remember how many times I asked you.
Okay.
If you remember.
So, hold on. Now we're going to put blue down here. Okay. So, it was correct. And you did the mass trial. And you can even put MT right here next to it. That means what?
Mass trial.
Good. Good. And you did that 3 times?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then with yellow, you can just put with. 'cause
With
yeah, there you go.
W.
There you go. Cool. And you were able to fade that in, so that was 3 out of 3 as well. So CCC. All right.
Okay.
Awesome. So you see how that works?
Mhm.
Now the next time you come back and you're going to want to do the same thing with yellow.
Okay. So with this one actually gone.
If you were the next person, if it was just you, then this would all be you. And you
Okay.
can stay right here. And what I like to do is if it's a separate sitting, which you gotta call me back and let me know, you can just go like that.
Okay.
Okay?
That makes sense. Okay. All right.
Alright, so-
and then you go play twice.
Yeah. Cool.
Wait, why'd you put that?
Oh. People play.
Okay.
There we go. And then I go back here. After
And it's
100%.
still 100%.
So we're gonna pretend I'm still her, right?
Mhm.
Is that how we're doing it? Okay.
Okay.
And that,
And now, what you might want to do is, since you did more, like you were saying next to the next person, but if you had planned on coming back and doing that, you wouldn't have put this here.
okay.
What you would have put was block trials of yellow and blue. That's what you'd want the next person to do. So then the next person, it's their job to now say, give me blue, good, give me yellow, good, and so on. And start mixing these together. Okay? But you're going to want to probe to see it because he might have some of these colors and you might not have to go through this block trial situation.
Okay.
Okay? But so, it go, in your next column, you're either going to write intro new, expand by however many, random rotation, or block trials. Those are
Okay.
your 4 things that you can write in next.
Okay.
Okay? Alright, awesome job. So that was that. Alright. What's next on our program checklist?
Compliance, come here.
Okay, that doesn't matter. That's going to get totaled up at the end of the session.
Go play and sit nice and then
Yeah,
matching.
and those are all under compliance.
Uh-huh.
So I just broke the formats down on this.
Okay, matching 3D to 3D.
Right, and we're not going to worry about this one
Okay.
or this one this month, but we are going to worry about this one, this one, this one, and this one.
All on a 2D to 2D form.
Yes, yes.
Okay, matching 2D to 2D on colors.
Who wants to do that?
Do I have to write all that stuff down?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that. I will do it, but I don't want to write.
You have to learn though. How did you learn?
You could teach, give them a teacher.
How did you learn to do price changes? How did me
Okay, so you're going to do color matching. So what you're going to want to do, so this is 2D, 2D colors. So
Why
you're
did I
going to want to
teach
go to
you again?
matching.
You're
And
smart on
in
your
here
own.
has 2D to
I did that
2D
tomorrow.
objects, shapes, and colors. Has the same SD, which is what was saying, right? Then what you want to do is come over here. We only have the 2D for this. Yeah, I'm gonna make the other one for this, which I'm gonna either email you or you guys can make copies. I gave you a lot of these back here as well. But I'll email it to you because you sounded like you wanted it on the computer, okay? But remember today we had to match almost all the colors and we did no problem, so you could probably do a whole field if you wanted to.
Okay.
Okay? So this color's matching. Actually, just put 2D to 2D matching in here. And for target, you can put colors. Right? And then the date and your name.
Today, right?
Yes.
No, I just playing with Play-Doh, eating some Chex Mix, and watching. Happy boy.
And this is just.
This is first one. So if I come, well, this is going to be regarded as a session. This one. Is.
Okay, so I'll be the same person.
Yes,
then.
yes, yes, yes.
Melissa Tyler goes, meow, woof.
We have the other set colors.
Right here. Right here somewhere.
They're all in the
This box does too. Did you notice how it has?
Yeah, I
these
saw
big-
that.
Yeah. Okay, so you can organize the box.
That's when you asked what these black ones for with that
No,
Shelby.
I was looking.
That was me. And I figured out what they
Because
do.
my aunt says I'm the human PDA. Deborah Joy's always told me I'm the human PDA.
See, and it gives you letters.
Like a blackberry organizer. Ha
That's good. It's a good trait.
Well,
I'm not
obsessive-compulsive.
very organized person.
When I do it, I am. When I don't do it, I'm
Yeah,
not.
when she does it, she is. She gets that from somebody, not me.
Not me.
My fiance is extremely organized. That's why she's the intake coordinator.
I knew that had to be the case. I've been wanting to ask you all day, but I didn't
I
know
want
if
to
it
go
was
wash
appropriate
this.
or not.
That's really gross. Well,
Come
this
here.
has a hole in it.
No. Come here. Good job.
So did that, since you came on the second try, you still get a compliance for
Well,
that?
it would be I
Star.
and then C.
Okay,
Incorrect and then C.
okay.
So how would
So you circle I. For the,
7.
yeah.
So she's trying to
And
write
then
it.
8 with C.
Oh, no, she's okay.
Learn how to do that. That's where you gotta do it over and
Cool,
over.
what?
Well,
Circle the C for
Well, so
correct.
this
on
has a
page.
hole in it.
Getting it.
yeah, this is.
Yes.
Okay,
Once
so
you
that's
do it, you have
each
to do it
That's why-
literally.
Ask.
Have
That's
to
Every
do it.
time you ask,
Do it, so you
either
can
gets a
get
C, an I, or a P.
Talking about
Okay.
Each one of these rows is a discrete trial. An instruction, a response, and your feedback.
Okay. Pull the same. Alright.
You might actually have to teach me here. Try to match shades.
Are you colorblind?
I am.
Just have black and
these
white.
are the exact same colors right here, so we'll see if I get it right.
Yeah, I'm working over here.
Do you
What
want
was
one of
saying?
us to do it?
We're gonna do hot, cold, hot, cold. The same.
It's close. Real hot.
What do you see?
They look exactly the same.
They all look the
This
same.
is a little darker.
What color does it look like?
Eh,
You don't know.
like a brown or gray, I don't know. They just look the
Matches your
same.
clothes for you.
I have to get them like this. I have them separated out.
You go to Penny's and buy the shirt and the tie that are already
Well,
matched.
blues I'm pretty good with, unless there's purple. So sometimes like purple and pink, I'll come with a purple and pink shirt, and I'll think they're blue or gray. Pink and purple, those are the only ones that get me in trouble.
Oh crap.
Watch
Put the
that.
same. Put the same.
Give me a.
No. It belongs with Dirk. That's the place for it.
Oh, it's gonna go wash it.
Put the same. We're good here.
Yeah? Okay.
Put the same. Good job. Go play.
Alright. Okay. So, we're gonna go to the matching. What was the first one that you asked?
Well, I don't even know how many times we did 5. Probably did each twice. So,
Okay.
we
Is
applied
there some counter we can get
all
for
the way
ourselves?
through, right?
Right,
So
but we
you
want to
see
write the
that-
That would be a
colors.
good idea, because how'd you get
Okay.
rid of
Because
that?
what if I would have had
Like,
problems with the
sorry,
particular
some
color?
certain-
Yeah.
do
Then
they
we
have
want
that?
to
Well,
look
just
at.
a
So
plain piece of paper,
let's just
maybe
act
just a
like
pen.
you
Yeah,
asked
just
each
mark
one
it.
once.
Yeah.
So let's do
I'll
yellow.
just break them up.
Just do
That
yellow.
would be my thing. Just have a
That was the
plain piece
first
of paper,
one,
1,
and
2,
then I
3,
got the
and
correct.
just put a lot
Let's
of
say we
time
did
to
blue
do it.
next.
Or know that you're gonna ask it so many times.
Yeah, think you're gonna do each twice.
I would imagine that's how it starts seeing it, you know, in your head. It's pretty structured.
Right. Here, the best way is to know what you're going to do before you sit down, and that's going to make it easier. And then if there's any deviation, if you get something wrong, a lot of times what I'll do when I'm doing like say receptive object lab or something like that, ones that he got wrong, I'll put in a separate pile.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that when I go back, I know all these are C's. This one had trouble. Now, how did I need to prompt once? Or I need to, and that's where I'd have to remember the deviation. Cool. That works.
Okay.
So then, what's the percentage?
Corrects will be 100%.
Yep.
Okay. Prompted 0.
Yep. And what should the next person do? I got all these right.
Yeah. I
What do you
mean-
think they should do?
Add another color.
Cool. Intro new.
Okay. What's next? Should I even make a suggestion for colors? That doesn't even matter.
If we had a current item list going,
Yeah.
and you knew that all the way up to 11, which was yellow, was mastered, and then gray was the next one, you could write intro gray, because you know it was the next on the current item list.
Okay.
You could do that. But now, after you get this percentage, you have to put it somewhere else.
It's somewhere in here.
Yep. Right there. So that's going to be,
2D.
and it's colors.
Okay.
Right there, yeah.
And then
And we're on this row right here. That's
the
us.
second one.
Yep.
Okay. So we're just gonna do 100%.
Yep, for colors. Absolutely. Cool. And then also I got to go, I went and played on the first instruction, so you probably want to circle C there, which it looks like.
Number 6. Are we doing? At least 5.
Yeah, just circle 5. I went when
We
you said
did
go play.
compliance on that one.
Yep, so C. There you go. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so what's next on our list? Here's our list right here.
We do 2D letters.
Right, which we don't have yet, so that's okay. And we don't have numbers either, but we do have shapes. So who wants to do 2D shape matching?
Yeah, try. I'm not sure how to do the paperwork, but.
I'll do it. I don't know how to do paperwork.
Well, that's what he's teaching you.
Well, maybe you guys could help us do it, since you know how to do it. That'll be a
Oh!
you need,
I don't know how to do
because
it.
you'll have to show
You know how to do it?
people.
I don't know how to do it yet.
Okay.
Well, you can.
We're all learning.
Yes.
Okay, so so I need, where's the, one on?
So
Okay,
you're
come
doing,
here.
You're doing
Okay.
matching,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we're doing matching,
Okay,
okay,
so we're in matching. Here's matching.
okay.
And what kind of matching are you doing?
Shapes,
Cool, so here's object shapes and colors. What's your SD?
but was same,
Good, and you
Okay.
know what the response is, right?
good, yeah.
Cool, okay. So now you want to get out your field. Usually you would go to your target list here, but we don't have one for colors and shapes yet. But you can just assume we probed today that he's probably going to be able to match all this stuff. I'll make sure that I email you all of this stuff tonight, so that you can print it all out and have a bunch of these. So you can, it's probably going to be best for you to start making these Hermite,
And I forgot, what's
because
the
you
I?
know what he knows best.
What does the I stand for? What is-
Incorrect.
Incorrect, C correct, incorrect, prompt.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Now, do you have like
Hi, Tyler.
instruction list on doing this? You know, do you have it written out as instructions
Like what?
for doing the paperwork? You know,
What
okay,
to do
this-
first?
Yeah,
I
like,
can
like
do
an
that for you.
like in an outline
I can
form.
do that. I can do that for you. I'll email you that too. So you come here, you get the room ready, you sign in, you make sure there's a compliance sheet on the notebook, on the clipboard. You want all that stuff.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem. That's a great idea. You should probably start putting that in there
I
anyways.
think at least until you get your routine
Yeah,
going.
absolutely.
Okay, come here. No. Come here. No. Good walking.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do
So,
that.
okay, so,
It was IIP.
okay. So, I-I-P like that,
Yep,
right
yep,
down,
yep,
okay,
yep.
I-I, I-I-P like that.
Yep,
Okay,
there you go.
okay.
It should always be no prompt, or I, and then correct. Okay, because it's always two incorrects and no.
Okay, put with same. Good. Put with same. Good. Now do you want it, does it have to be,
No.
that's okay, okay.
If it was like this,
Yeah.
I might try to fix it.
Okay. No. Put with same. Yeah, great
Cool.
job.
So what I would do, since I got that one wrong, so you remember I got it wrong one time.
Okay,
is
so you want to go over it again?
that, and so you remember in the data that
Oh,
that
okay.
one wasn't correct when you go back to take data.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Square.
Huh? Yeah, I'm good. Put with same. Good. Put with same. Now am I going to do all these again?
Good. I'd actually probably
And that-
ask that one, and if I
and-
get that one right,
Put with same.
then I'd like to say go play.
Go play.
Good. So you followed up on the one that I had trouble with.
Okay,
Okay.
so there's one
hold
that I
on.
missed.
Okay. So now you would put. See how he did colors?
Colors, yeah.
What matching did you do?
Shapes.
So you put shapes right here.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you write these down.
Well,
A
it should-
circle,
right? But circle's the one I had a problem with, right?
right?
Okay. So
So
I
that,
would try to keep these in the order that you asked too. So
Okay.
rectangle you did first.
okay. Okay,
Triangle.
and that was, put
Yeah,
a
that's
C.
correct. Yeah, that's
C.
correct.
Okay,
Triangle.
triangle.
Okay. And then you asked circle.
Okay, and
And
that was I.
I, right?
Okay.
And then you don't have to write it again, but you asked again, and then I got it correct.
Oh, okay, so circle,
Yep.
okay.
You don't have to write it again though, because we already know. Right.
Okay,
Exactly.
and then correct, okay.
Right. And then you asked rectangle,
Okay,
and then you went back to circle. Well, you could put correct there for rectangle.
Okay.
Then you went back to circle, and I got it correct, and that's when you let me go play.
oh,
It's just
okay.
awesome. You followed up.
Okay,
You see how
I
that
see,
works?
I see, like you said, you gotta remember before you do it, so
Exactly.
you know the.
Exactly. Because you
Okay.
want to try to
Could
write
you
this
it
in
down
the
this
order.
first?
Well, I could change the order though. But
Oh,
if you
okay,
got
I
it
guess
wrong,
so. Or just write, well, okay.
yeah, because it could change, and you want this to kind of be in the right order as to what you asked. That's why we try to keep it to 10 trials, so that we can remember to take data. So how many trials were there altogether?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Good, and it says 6 right there. How
6,
many out of
yeah.
6 was correct?
5,
What's that percentage, you know?
80, 80 or.
5 out of
Five or
6 I think
six.
is 80%, right? I think
I
it is.
think
So
Okay,
80%. 0 prompted because I self-corrected,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And next person, what do you think the next person should do?
Then she work more in the circle.
Check circle, right?
Check
Because
circle.
there was probably a problem with that one. Right, so check circle.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now what are you going to do with this percentage here?
Okay.
Put it on the.
One of these sheets.
Awesome.
Okay, and this will
It
be,
was 2D matching,
right, 2D matchy shapes,
Good.
so 80.
80%.
Okay,
Absolutely. And when you said go play, did I go play?
yes,
So you're going to want to circle C for go play.
okay.
All right? That
Okay.
makes sense?
Okay. That's good. The more you do it, then you
Yes.
do that.
It will definitely get easier. So let's see what's next on our list here. NBI gross motor. Who wants to do that?
Oh, I'll do it.
Okay.
I can't remember everything.
There's a pen over there.
Okay, so we're doing nonverbal imitation, which is NBI. So you're going to want to turn to there. And what's cool about this is once you turn to it, its actual instructions are on this. So we're going to do NBI gross motor, which is this one. So what's our SD?
Do this. Right?
Yep, to do this plus instructor models action. So there's no objects in this one. And then we can go to our current item list. We only put down with objects. But do you remember some of the items we did without objects? And you're going to want a current item list for each format too. That's why I'm going to email you all that stuff. So this was with objects. You remember some of the stuff we did without objects?
But we
We do this?
touch nose.
Good, good. And it's just do
shoulders,
this,
clap.
do this, do
Not from the
this,
thing.
do this. Good, good. Excellent. And that should come here, sheet right here. So if I come over on the first try, you're in circle C. If I don't, you'll
on
circle.
11, is that where we're at?
Then you're at 12.
Okay.
Yes, 12.
Come here.
So you can circle it now or later. Okay. It's up to you, but I got it. So you can circle a C. Okay.
Do this. Good. Do this. Good. Do this. Good. Do this. Do this. No. Do this. Okay. Do this. Good. Do this. Good. Do this. Okay. Right up.
Yep.
Go play.
All right. Awesome. Okay, so now what we want to do, we're in NBI. So you want to put target was gross motor.
Okay. Gross motor right there is what
Yep.
you say.
This is why it becomes important to say no as well. Notice you didn't say no.
No.
So was that a full trial? Can you really count as incorrect? It's tricky. So that's why by giving your no, you can definitely say it was incorrect. Okay, so what'd
You
you
have
do?
to do it too.
Oh, no, just gross motor
Yep.
here under target, but that's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
We'll start at 2 here.
Okay.
So the first one that you did was
Nose.
nose, right?
Who goes next? Paper, rock, scissors. Who goes next? Right now.
How'd I do?
You complied.
Okay, so C, correct.
And then he was head.
Okay,
Come on, let me see.
And you complied on that.
good. Let's just go with the legs. The legs,
I think he didn't comply.
right.
It was incorrect.
Good.
Then we did.
Did it again and I was incorrect
Mom,
again,
if you
right?
go
'Cause you're doing another
last, then they
instruction.
remember how dumb you are. If you go,
I am dumb anyhow.
Good.
go
And then you
right
prompted.
now. I'll play chicken.
Oh, hold on. It's still going to be legs, so put legs.
Okay.
Legs. And then circle P. There you go. And then you followed it with an unprompt, right?
Okay, so say legs again.
Yeah.
What you did to write it down. That looks like a hard part.
And
I
you,
think
I got it
almost
right.
want to scratch
Right.
piece of paper.
And then you did
Decided
those
to
here.
write it.
And
You
then
know,
went back
I think
to
you're gonna have
the
to have like a
which is
pad of
awesome.
paper there.
Just a pad of paper to say one, and
Make
then
quick
just make
notes
your
to
little
yourself.
notes to yourself. Okay, I did these two, I did two, and then just
Cool.
write and look.
Now,
Now,
Even put down
really,
notes
it's
what
8.
you're gonna do beforehand before
Well, I
you
think
sit
so.
them down.
Like the order.
3, 4, 5 out of 8. Do you know what percentage that is? Who knows what 5 out of 8 is?
It's 85.
60 something.
yes.
8 goes into 60.
82. 82%.
Okay, well,
That's why you need that calculator.
Yes. Correct percent would be 82.
I don't do anything.
82, and you prompted 1 out of 8. Let's
don't have
just
a
say that
calculator,
that
it's
is 1 out of 8. What do you think that is? 12%?
Leave him alone.
Let's just put 12%.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
12%
12.
there. Okay. And then next, what do you think the next person should do?
Calculator.
We need to go reinforce the legs.
Right. So check legs.
Well, I'll just need to learn how to divide. That works too.
That make sense?
That doesn't cost any
I
money.
gotta go back to here, over here, right?
Well, and you told me to go play, and I went and played. So you would just circle C for go. See how it says go play right here?
Okay, so 7 is
All right.
right.
Yes.
It works.
All right. Make sense? Okay. Now you need to take this 82% here, and you have to put it somewhere else.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Okay. And you need the NBI gross motor.
Kid, you like that? Could you let it say play cards, kid, or do math?
Yep, and it was 82%.
Am I in the right column?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
And that's it.
Down here,
This would be like comments. So like down here you could be you could put this reinforcer worked really well, or was having difficulty discriminating between legs and knees. Like any kind of thing that might help the next tutor out is what you'd want to put down in the comments.
I was just wondering if you had a comment, just to write a quick note.
Right, right. So if you notice like legs versus nose, there's no problem, but legs and knees, a little bit difficulty discriminating those two. You might want to say work on discrimination between legs and knees, something like that. Okay.
I just want, what I would, for me personally, I would like to have like a scratch pad.
Yeah.
I would just jump
Yes.
down and say, "Can I learn first try?"
Yeah, a lot of
And
people
then-
too.
then I would go
I've
back
seen
and
people have marbles in their pocket. If they get it right, they put it in the other pocket.
Oh.
Paper clip. I've seen people do all kinds of things to remember.
Yeah.
Correct child. I make 2 piles when it comes to do with stimuli, and when it doesn't come to do with stimuli, the best thing is to know what you're going to do. And that's why this next is so important. Like I came here and I see, oh, last time he had trouble with legs. So I know that legs is my focus point. What 3 things do I want to use for my extended style legs? I'm going to use clap, I'm going to use wave, and I'm going to use knock. Okay? So it'd be, do this. Good job. Do this. Good job. Do this. Good job. I know I expanded by 1. What did I expand by? Wave. Right? So it should be leg, wave, leg. Okay? Okay. Do this. Good job. Do this. Good job. Do this. Good. I expanded by 2. Nose and clap, right? And then went back to legs.
Yeah, see, that's why I think you write like a piece of paper, I would be writing that down.
And it could help.
Legs,
A
nose.
little something right here where you just
Yeah.
kind of make a little tally mark.
Yeah.
Right? Or you can have know what you're going to do right here and just make little tally marks.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Okay? All right. Let's see what we got next here. All right, NBI with objects. Who wants to give that a shot?
It's a turn and then we start over.
I'll go.
All right. So we're going to go. We're already in NBI. So here's with objects. What's our SD? Cool. And then we're going to turn to see what we've already been working on. So what have we been working on? Block and bucket, hit tambourine, shake small maraca, and shake bell. So where's that stimuli at?
Bells. Shake. Shake, shake, shake.
It's all right there. Yep. The best thing to do, and I'll tell you, my workshop report will have recommendation and lists for each program. What you want to do is print out 2 copies. One for everybody to read, and one you can cut up and paste those little recommendations right here on the program. Just tape them right in there. Okay?
Now, what's the first thing?
So you're going to want to get me to the chair. How are you going to do that?
No, I thought you wrote something down here first.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
When
You
he comes
just
to
found
the
what
chair.
you needed to do.
Yep.
You've got your page right.
Tyler, come here.
You've got your compliance sheet out.
I want him to watch him do this.
Okay, come here.
Okay, did I come the first time? So here's come here, and you're going to circle C for correct.
Number 13.
Yep. All right.
Dad.
Do this. Good job.
So make sure you get those out so that they're still in the field. And usually this book you probably want to keep over here. Good.
Do this. Good job. Do this. No. Do this. Good job. Go play.
Good. Excellent. Okay. So now what we're going to want to do is our target here was objects. Okay. So you put objects under target right here. Good. See where this says target? Yeah, right there. Objects. Okay. And what was the first thing that you did?
The box.
Cool. So block and bucket.
I want to see the baby.
Cool. How do I do it that?
No, he's
Good. So correct. So circle C.
Another workshop
Good.
today.
And then what'd you do?
This.
Next we did tambourine.
No, no tambourine.
No,
Bell.
this is
Good bell. Okay. Did I get bell?
today.
Did I get that right?
Mama?
No, you didn't.
No, I got it wrong. Incorrect. I want to show everybody something really quick, okay? Now I got it wrong. So what you want to do if I got it wrong, what did I do?
You should have done it again.
Well, what did I do? Instead of the bell. What did I do?
The maraca.
Right, so you might want to put maraca here. Yep,
No, no.
good.
And
Then you did bell again, and I got it right. So you get circle C. Yep. You got it right, C, good. And then what'd you do?
then I did the
No, never did the tambourine, but you did maraca. And then went back to bell. Got that correct? And then bell again. I got it right. And then you let me go play. Okay? So how many trials altogether? Good. And I got 4 out of 5 right.
It's 80.
That's 80.
80. Okay. So 80%. Did you prompt it all? 8 P's?
No.
Nope, no P's, so 0 prompted. Okay, and what should the next person do?
Work on tambourine.
Or check on bell, because I got bell wrong. So you might want to put check bell right there. Before introducing a new one, just because there was some trouble there. Okay? Now we need to put this percentage somewhere.
On that clipboard.
Okay, so we did NBI with objects. And 80%, right? Alright, see how that works? And when I went to go play, did I go play?
Yes.
Okay, so circle P.
Anybody count this way?
Yeah, exactly. It's a good 100%.
Yeah, well, that's fun.
The thing is, though, sometimes you have to prompt.
Oh,
Because they'll just sit there, and so that means that they're not really listening to the instruction, they're going to play because you're prompting them. Remember, you're trying to make them as independent as possible. Alright, awesome. So let's see what's next.